Welcome back to BVarsity Live. South High Soccer is in the house. We're going to get to them in just a few minutes. Zach Ewing back with Nick Ellis, and Trevor Horn is on the horn, laid up as he is. Let's talk a little U.S. Army All-Star Bowl. It's the indoor high school football All-Star game for Kern County. This year it's a little bit later than normal. We were trying to figure out the date. It's May the 13th, so a couple of weeks later than usual, and under new ownership, new organization, Nick. But you are sort of one of the common threads between the two eras, I suppose, of the All-Star Bowl. What can you tell us about this year's game?
Well, first of all, Stephanie Varell and her team have actually taken over the ownership of the event. So Stephanie has a long history in service around the community in a lot of different venues, and she's been involved in this game for a number of years. So I think things will be very well run, and she's very organized. I would not expect a whole lot to change this year. My involvement at this point, we're still trying to kind of decide what's going to be my responsibility and what will not. I assume I'll probably be responsible for the game activities on the field during game time, and then probably the practices the week of.
Stephanie, don't give him anything that breaks.
No fooling.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, I break everything, that's for sure. Or make sure there's a sippy cup, so I don't spill it on
There
myself.
you go. I need one of those as well. Lewis always makes fun of me for spilling on myself.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be like every year, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. I think it's actually a good thing because
it's
the
terrific.
the game is wonderful. It's absolutely been a blast for me to be a part of it. I got to referee it a couple of times, and then became involved in the operation of the game for I think 5 or 6 years now, and in different capacities. I've had people, players, and cheerleaders come up to me and say, "I had the most fun I think I've ever had." In that game. It was just a whole lot of fun, and that's what it's all about, So.
And it's almost fitting that it is a little closer to graduation. I might make scheduling tough for a few kids or whatever, but it is really a last hurrah as a high school football player, and not every player plays in it. Obviously, a Jordan Love, for instance, isn't going to play, and he's already at Utah State.
Right.
Just like Cody Kessler, already enrolled at USC by the time the game. Derek Carr, same thing at Fresno State.
Yeah.
They'd already enrolled in their college. Sometimes the college coaches say, "I'd rather not have you risk getting hurt." But Ryan Matthews, for instance, who plays with the Philadelphia Eagles now, his last high school football game, his last game of any kind in Kern County was at that time the Arena Bowl, and he took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. Just electric stuff.
Sure.
And that's the sort of thing that happens every year, and it's the last chance you get to see some of these guys play. And it really is special. So, and this year, I think, getting back to your time as a photographer, and Trevor, you could chime in here too, but this is a special year. There's a lot of talent out there among the senior class.
Yeah, from what I've seen as a photographer, there has been a tremendous amount of talent. I can't wait for the game. It's going to be a lot of fun, and to see how many points will get scored during the game. High-scoring games. You got to say that.
My only issue though this
They
year,
put up a
you see
lot of
those
points.
guys that,
Trevor on the line.
Hang on, Trevor. What was that?
I was going to say the issue that I see a lot of those guys that were really high-end kind of specialty players with a lot of speed and playmakers. Those guys are all track guys this year. The Japel Tomlins, the Darius Smith, the Quincy Jounties, and I don't know if they're going to be able to break away that late into the track season to be able to play in that game because you're talking about May 13th.
Well, and a couple of those guys are juniors, so they wouldn't be eligible anyway.
No, those three guys that I just said are all seniors.
Okay.
Smith and Jounty are all seniors. So those guys might not even play because it's so late in the year. I mean, are you really going to try to risk injury heading into the section finals, week before? And that's kind of a bummer deal. But, yeah, there is still a lot of talent. I think this year what you're going to see is a lot of really good offensive linemen that maybe you see more ability to make downfield passes from like a guy like Cesar De Leon, at the quarterback position, because you got guys like, Dom DeMarco, Max Garris, you go down the line, Chase Mears and, Timmy LaLaye from Ridgeview might be playing on that O-line in this game. So, yeah, I think it would be really interesting. But you hope that those multi-sport guys maybe still find the availability. But, yeah, I think about that May 13th date, and that kind of, makes me cringe because, you're not going to get those track guys coming out this year.
Yeah, probably not. And we did see some injuries in the game, unfortunately, last year. That has not been something that's been a real problem with the All-Star Bowl in years past, at least not since I've been in Kern County. But last year you did have a couple of big injuries, including, now the name escapes me now, but Centennial's first baseman on their baseball team.
Yeah.
And they ended up going from one of the maybe 2 section favorites, they ended up losing the semifinals. Does one player make that big of a difference? You don't know, but it's unfortunate he wasn't there to help the baseball team. And that's, that kind of comes with the territory. There are high school football all-star games all over the place, and they're usually played in the spring. And so you have that risk of injury in any of them, and that's just, it kind of comes with the territory of playing sports and being in athletics.
Yeah, I had my the earpiece out while Trevor was talking about part of that, but
I had my earpiece out for the whole thing.
No fooling.
Cold Dewey, by the way.
Yeah.
There you go, Cold Dewey.
I think even though some of these kids that you mentioned who are literally all-stars in either track or football, probably a lot of them are going to go on, you're still going to have a lot of kids that just have a tremendous amount of talent. And, it is a showcase. It is for fun. There's going to probably be kids, if some of those higher-ranked players can't make this game, then there's going to be some players that might have been on the bubble that are going to make this game.
4 or 5 years ago, Cody Kessler, it was, I believe, his senior year, and he couldn't play in the game. Well, you know who the MVP of the game was Mike Morgan from Fraser Mountain. Nobody had barely heard of the guy.
Right.
And he comes out, and he's just perfect for the arena game. Didn't have the strongest arm in the world, but he could throw these short, quick, accurate passes, quick release, mobile, just perfect for the game. And I think, Trevor, you hit it on the head. I like Cesar De Leon as one of the guys who could be a star. Now, are they drafting players again this year, or has that been decided yet?
No, they are drafting. The date's not set yet. They're going to last couple of years it's been at Three-Way Chevrolet, but they've got some changes that are going on in their location at the dealership. I don't remember if it's a remodel or something. So they're working on a location for the draft. Of course, the Hometown Sports top 24 that were voted on for Players of the Week are automatically chosen. That's part of the agreement.
Right.
And then from there, it's players that are seniors. They've got to meet some criteria that's established by the All-Star Bowl. Got to be good students, got to be active in school, good citizens in the community, things like that. They got to keep their nose clean.
Scholarship program coming back?
Yes.
So that's one of the coolest things for me is that some of these guys and the girls, the cheerleaders, get scholarship opportunities too.
Absolutely. Cheerleaders have been picked. There's 16 girls from around the county. I was able to get down and take some photos for Stephanie of the cheerleaders during tryouts a couple weeks ago, and it's going to be cool. There's some talent out there.
Very cool. Nick, we're going to let you go, but just if you could reiterate last year, maybe an unsung and under the radar memory, not necessarily shooting the Raiders for the Pac-12 championship game. Give me a high school football moment that you remember from the season that was.
Oh wow, it's got to be almost the last photo, if not the last photo that I took. And now you got to remember that I'm still kind of new at this. I'm still learning a lot. So Ridgeview's playing. Was it Narbonne?
Narbonne, yeah.
Narbonne
in the CIF regional.
Right, and so of course the Cal calls and says, "Look, you stayed at the end of the game. We need something, a victory or a defeat shot for the paper." And a couple of weeks before that, I went up and shot Liberty at Clovis, and I got a really nice shot of Coach from Liberty, giving the yah and all that stuff. So now I'm looking for a defeat because Ridgeview just got spanked.
Right.
And I'm wondering if I'm going to get a shot or not. And then all of a sudden, the Moya kid's walking around. He's hugging other players. And then he starts to cry a little bit. And next thing, his brother comes over, and he sits on the bench. And then
former Ridgeview star, yeah.
And so I snapped this photo, literally the last photo I've taken, I'm positive, of football. And it ends up, in my mind, it's the best photo. I had more compliments from people.
That photo, by the way, you can find on the BVarsity Live Instagram feed. It was our most liked photo of the entire year.
Oh, was it?
In fact, it's just a great shot, capturing the emotion of the moment that they did. It's such a great season, and to come up short in the last game of the year, and to see the pain, but also the sort of, literally in this case, the brotherhood of these two guys as they kind of felt for each other. So, very cool stuff. And Nick does a great job for us. You can check his stuff out in the California. We'll have him back on BVarsity Live, and again. He'll be help coordinating the All-Star game. So, Nick, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for
All right, and we'll be back. South High boys soccer off to such a great start this season. They're in the house. We'll be with them next on BVarsity Live.